Hey crafty friends, welcome back to the old paper lady. I'm back, y'all. Finally. It's been about 2 weeks since I've made a video. I think the last video I made was where we finished up the 4 signature Paris Rose journal. And in that video, I had the itchy, scratchy throat. And I kept complaining about, I don't know what's going on with my throat. Well, it should have been my first inclination that I was getting sick. But yeah, I feel a whole lot better now. I still have a little bit of cough. And today is Mary Makes, so we're going to get into that. But now, throughout my sickness and stuff like that, I've been sick off and on since Christmas. I had gotten behind on Miss Natalie over at Line.Arrow, her freebies that she posts on her Facebook group. And then she is also in connection with Sweet Pea Paper, and then Miss Terry over there, she has 3 different Facebook groups as well, connected with Sweet Pea Papers. I cannot think of the names of them offhand, but needless to say, I got behind on printing out anything from Miss Natalie at Line.Arrow, and she has some beautiful Christmas stuff. So I went through, you know, while I had the frog in the throat and the nasally tone, and I couldn't really talk good. So I went through, and I've been catching up on getting my stuff printed off that I hadn't printed in a while. So this is where all of this stuff here came from Miss Natalie at Line.Arrow. It was her Christmas stuff, and a few of it is like music papers, and then some background things, tags and such like that, that were in a different kit that I thought we could dress up with her Christmas fussy cuts and things. And all of this was her freebies on her Facebook group. With that being said, also, you know, while I was sick and couldn't really talk and do nothing, I went through all 14 pages of my Etsy purchases. And this is the front plates of all the kits that I have not printed and downloaded. And that is a good 1.5 inches thick of just regular 20-pound card printer paper of just front plates, and which, you know, is like the name of the kit and who made it and this and that, of kits and paper packs and stuff that I have not printed. So yeah, I need to get caught up on printing a lot. So anybody that knows any holidays coming up in the near future, I will be wanting printer, ink, and paper. Just needless to say, that's what I'm going to be asking for from here until I get most of these printed. And I have decided to put a halt on, you know, if I don't feel good or it's late night and I can't sleep, stop shopping on the Etsy every 5 minutes. But some of these kits were way back from when I first got into doing digitals, and they are from my goodness, like 2021, yeah, that far back. So yeah, so I just went through and printed out, you know, some of my kits. I printed all the front faces to everything, and then the kits that I had printed, that I knew I had printed and put up in boxes and stuff like that, were, you know, I've been collecting like the stuff to make the journal or what have you. I printed all of those face plates off and put them with those journal kits as well. So then that way, you know, pretty much all of my digitals are organized now, and I can tell you where I got stuff from. So that, I'm very, very proud of myself for doing that the last week. Because that's what I've been working on the last week, is just sitting here trying to get my digitals organized on my laptop of what I had and what I didn't have. what I needed to download, which you can see I got a good, I can't believe I got that far behind on stuff, which you know how it is, you know, you're working on stuff and then somebody has a sale and you're just like, oh, yep, I got to go get that while it's on sale, you know, so, and that's how it come about. So then I would buy it and not download it, and it's just been sitting there. And then there are several shops in my very early days of Etsy shopping to where I had gotten like whole shop passes, and I've been trying to access those and do that as well. So, and then like several kit bundles and stuff like that. So I got all of that stuff. Hopefully all of it still works for like the shop bundle access and the like there'd be 5 or 6 kits, like Christmas kits and stuff like that that I had bought in a bundle. So hopefully the links to the Google Drive and all that still work. And as you can tell, I still have a little bit of rasp in my voice, but nowhere near as bad as it was. And the coughing is to a manageable state now. I had started off with, I had the good old, you know, sinus infection with the allergies and that, because, you know, it is pollen season. So I started off with that. That was the first week. And then and that was the old frog in the throat, the nasal talk, and all that mess. And then the second week, after my throat, you know, the voice cleared up, I just started coughing, and it just, you know, could not quit coughing. Just cough, cough, cough. And I want to appreciate everyone for your thoughts and prayers, and I greatly appreciate all of you for that. And I noticed that you have all still been watching videos, even though I had not made any new ones in the last 2 weeks. I greatly still appreciate you all for doing that. And I have several ladies that had checked on me, direct message, and making sure I was okay. And then found out Miss Maggie, she had gotten sick as well throughout this mess. And she, you know, she's on the mend, hopefully. I haven't talked to her in a couple of days, but hopefully, Miss Maggie, you're doing well. Now, I have worked throughout this. I have worked every day throughout this. So, that has made the throat, you know, where it's got the itchy, scratchy throat and all of that, the hoarseness, that's made it a little bit more difficult for it to get better. But I don't think I'm going to use these here. But other than that, I've been hanging in there. I've been, you know, just chugging along. Like I said, you know, I wasn't sick, but I was sick to the point of where, you know, I could not shoot a video, because if, you know, I talking and I would just start coughing and have a coughing fit for 5 minutes, and I was just like, yeah, that's not gonna work. So then so that was the second week, was just the coughing fits. So my boss is like, you sound really bad. I'm like, it's just allergies, you know, it's just the pollen. I mean, you know, I'm good. It's like, I'm not sick. And when I say I'm sick, that means, you know, I have some type of infection, you know, like a virus or something like that, like pneumonia, you know, that's sick. This was my voice was not in shape to where I could make a video and be able to post it without having a cough 100 times through it. And so I was like, I'm just not going to make them go through that mess. So with all that being said about me and my sickness, how's everybody else doing? Y'all hanging in there? Y'all doing good? I've not watched any of the weather as of late. I know we had some storms coming through. supposed to have been coming through today, which is a Sunday evening I'm shooting this. So, hope everybody's faring well and doing good. I hope y'all been enjoying what you can of the spring-like weather in your area. It's kind of hard to enjoy it when, you know, if you have bad allergies. That's the only thing about spring. And then I'm dreading to try to mow the yard. Oh my goodness, that's gonna, whew. I don't know if I want to mow it or if I want to try to find somebody to mow it. Me and Mama's just not able to do it. My daddy's not able to ride up here and do it. He has, you know, several things wrong with him. He shouldn't be out riding nowhere doing nothing, but you can't tell his hard-headed self that, you know. Which, you know, I can't say nothing much. I'm kind of hard-headed myself, but... And, too, that goes back to, you know, if you sit down and quit doing anything, you know, if a body at rest is going to stay at rest. So, you know, if you do have arthritis and muscle issues, degenerative disc and stuff like that, you know, if you sit still and stay still, it makes it kind of worse. It really does. So, get up and try to do a little bit every day. Everybody's like, well, you should try to get on disability. Well, that would be great, but, you know, you have to wait 2 to 3 years most of the time. And then what am I going to do to survive in the meantime? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing on that. But other than, you know, just the old sinus mess and just coughing up a lung, I've been doing okay, I guess. I said I was kind of irritated because I was like, you know, I can talk, but I can't say more than like 2 or 3 words without having to, you know, you know, or clear my throat 100 times every time I said a word. But it was slightly greatly irritating this past week because I was like, I really want to do a video. I really want to do this. I really want to do that, and I couldn't. So I'm not going to promise you I won't cough, but I mean, you know, it is not anywhere like it was. So what's funny was, you know, I was thinking, I was like, well, shoot, everybody else that normally, you know, as soon as the pollen hits, everybody else, you know, they got it the first week. I was like, well, shoot, I'm doing pretty good. And as soon as I said that, 2 days later, here I am. Couldn't breathe through my nose, you know. Had to sit with the tissue in my nose, basically, for 3 days. So I was like, well, we will never, ever brag about, you know, shoot, I'm doing pretty good with the pollen this year. No, was not. It just took its time getting to me, I guess, because you know, I'd had so many antibiotics in my system to begin with, where I had been so sick throughout the couple of months, and still had antibiotics, I guess, in my system. That's the only thing I can figure, because my daughter got it, the sinus infection and stuff, like the very first day that the pollen, you could see the pollen on the cars. And then my dad had it the next week after that. And then he came up and he was like, you know, well, I'm over my sickness. I was like, are you sure? So he come and we took Autumn out for her birthday and that. And I was like, are you sure you ain't sick no more? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not sick. So then, like, the very next day, I got the stomach flu. And then 2 days after that, well, it wasn't really the stomach flu. I got food poisoning from where we went out to eat. And then I got better from that. And then that Wednesday, right after that, that's when the sinus stuff tried to take me out. But I did pretty good through this. It's just like I said, I didn't want to put you all through, nobody wants to sit and listen to someone cough and sneeze through their whole video. I know that. So I was like, I'm just not going to do that to my people. And then I said, I'm going to wait and start back this week. And then we'll just go from there. So we're going to do our Merry Monday makes as soon as I get these things here cut out. I'm so sorry, y'all, having to go through that mess. I probably should have cut this out this afternoon instead of sitting here printing other stuff off. But I am really, really proud of myself that I went through all of those digitals and got those organized on my laptop and in the files of, this person did this and this is this and that's that. And then printed all the front plates and downloaded all the ones that I have not printed and bought and was just sitting there in my purchase file and hadn't done nothing with them. And some of them I remember when I bought them because, I was like, oh, that's so pretty. And then some of them I was like, oh, I'm going to do that with this and I'm going to... What in the world? Did y'all hear that siren? That's sounded like the Barney Fife car. We have our town is known for Andy Griffith's birthplace, so we have what we call the Barney Fife cars, and that's kind of what that sounded like. Actually, was the Barney Fife car. These are a bunch of Christmas music papers here that I printed just because I'm gonna slide them pretty much in every Christmas journal. And I just kept them in here because it was with Miss Natalie's from Line Dot Arrow. It was in her freebies, so I kept it with her stuff. Now she's got, some envelopes here. They're real pretty. And then, and there was a template for these kind of envelopes in there that when she had that freebie. And then these are like foldy tags with music on them. And then these are like just background words and music. And then she had some that had like a burlap edge to them. So I thought we would try to work with some of those today and make some of this, use some of these fussy cut bits on these papers and stuff and make us some tags out of those is what I'm trying to get to do, so I can get my fingers to work with me, and that would be great. So yeah, that's what I was doing the last couple of days, was playing catch up on all the stuff that I've kind of just gotten behind on, really, with printing and stuff, and just because usually Miss Terry at Sweet Pea, she'll usually she'll have like giveaways and stuff like that on her Facebook groups and things, and then Natalie will provide the kits, and they'll get together and collab and do challenges and stuff like that with the kits and the freebie papers. And so, I'm way behind on that. I've not entered any challenges on their either one of their Facebook groups since Christmas. So, that stuff that I enjoy doing, and it's, fellowship with other YouTubers. All that would be so pretty on there. I need a label. Let me get my labels. Of course, I forgot them. I forgot them just because I was so excited to be able to turn the camera on finally. Get me a drink. And I finally got screws to put together my other pink cart, my ephemera cart. And I got my little baskets for my ephemera in it, and it's just ephemera. I got my glue sticks in it and my little hole punchy things. What are they called? Eyelets. Got all that stuff in that cart. What am I looking for? Glue, I think. I don't know. I don't know what I'm hunting for. Glue and ink. That's what we need, buddy. Glue and ink, buddy. That's what you need. Alrighty, so let's see. Yeah, 20 minutes into the video, and I'm finally actually putting something together. That's why I was like, I need now I need another couple of days off to get my fussy cuts run through my machine over there, so I can actually sit down and put a video together. It's always something, it's always something. I always got to do something. So I think this is going to be pretty. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put a label bit here. Let's see. I got sideways labels in this one, I think. I think I do. Hope I do. Probably not. Of course, I grabbed the wrong box for the sideways labels. Wouldn't you know that? Sideways labels. I have a box that has vertical labels in them from, of course, Junk Journal Studio. And then I have a box that has some pull tabs. And this just says the Junk Journal, so I don't know if it's the same or not. And then there's some that were, I got to reprint these again. So I like those. But yeah, some of them I haven't fussy cut out all that well. But let's see here. Just cutter board out of the way and I can dig through it a minute. But yeah, it just says the Junk Journal. So, and it was classic Christmas fussy cuts. Oh, look, that's pretty. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. I need it bigger, though. I want it a little bit bigger than that. And that's too big. Of course it is. Well, the first video back is always going to be a little shoddy. Just a little shoddy. That's all. A little shoddiness. I'll get that out of my face. That's distracting. I like that, but it's kind of small, is it not? Well, not really. All right, yeah, let's go with that because I like that better. It looks better on there. Let's do this one. Hey, let's put this one on there, y'all. Finally. Yeah, so then we'll do that there. Heck yeah, I like that. Okie doke. Alrighty then, that's what we're putting down finally. 25 minutes into the video. Oh. But, it is what it is. Some days you have to fussy cut as you're doing it, and some days I've had time off to sit and run my fussy cuts through the machine. Now, some of the papers that kits that I've printed here recently, I've did fussy cuts on just regular copy paper. Like these are just on regular 20-pound copy paper. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty. I like that quite a bit, actually. It's gonna be a pretty little tab. We put put a slot punch on it there. Yep. Quit looking at it. Make something else, woman. Make something else. Okie doke. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to the last couple weeks, is just trying to get better, honestly. I've got some papers in here need to get out so we can make some pockets, because some of these things here I would like to make pockets out of them. And this is just, you know, leftover scrapbook paper. Oh, get it apart. My goodness. Let's see. I want to put Santa Claus on that and make him a pocket. And then I want to put them on here, make them a pocket. I think that's the wide ones. The rest of them I can use smaller bits with, but that's what I want to do there. So we're going to do that and put this back up. And I think I can put him on that right there and make that a journal card. I think that'd be cute. And let me see about this. Come here, you little piece of paper. Oh, let's put them on there. Or should we put him on there? Christmas. I don't know. I like that, actually. Like he's sitting back. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's do that. I think that was all the little bitty scraps that I had just like right there on hand. That would work with those pieces. And I want to use this bale. And I think I want to put them right there. I want to put them on there with the Christmas bale, and then I can use this bottom piece because I can use that. Or should we do it with the snowflake? What do you think? Nope, we're going to do it with the bale. What's on the back side? Same thing, just upside down. Yeah, let's do that, and we can make a pocket out of them. Yep, okie doke. Need the cutter. And see, that saves that piece there, so I can use that on something else. And I think I just cut that crooked as all get out. Or it probably was already cut crooked as all get out, to be honest. It was already cut plumb crooked. Let's just straighten it up a wee bit. There we go. And this piece down here is cut crooked as well, the end. So I think this is the one where I took this piece and made covers for a journal. And that's just actually pretty in itself because it has the snow cone there. I just think I can put them on it and have like a black and white Christmas theme. I think that's cute. Or let's put Santa Claus on it. Nope, nope, don't like that. I like that on there. Okie dokie. Alright, these pieces are going to have to be right at 5 inches. Put that on there. Let's see, if I make that 5 inches, yep, Santa Claus will fit. So I don't want anything much over 5 inches because, you know, our pages, and then we got this little piece for a tag. Because our pages will be right at, put that on there, why not? So if you make your pockets wider than 5 inches, because normal our pages are 5.5 inches. So then they're not going to glue good to the page. They're gonna flop up, and you're just not going to get a good glue adhesive to the page, basically. I'm going to leave those straight, just because these pictures are straight, and that's fine with me. We'll do it that way. Okay, there's that one. Let's put it down. But yeah, I hadn't heard a whole lot about anything else going on. I hadn't really been watching a whole lot of YouTube, honestly, other than I did hear about, what is it, 507, Miss Leslie and Junk Journal Studio starting their adventures of having workshops. And I'm so happy for those ladies. That is just awesome news for them. I think that's going to be fun, and hopefully if they come in and are around somewhere in my area that I can drive to, I would jump on the opportunity to be able to go to one of their retreat workshops. I think that would be greatly entertaining and greatly educational, because it is basically a completely different style pretty much than what I do. And I do watch both of those ladies' channels, and I would love to watch and learn how to make the journals like they do. Now, like Donna at Twisted Paper Studios, her journals kind of tend to be a little kind of like the journals that I make. But Leslie makes, the flip-flop journals, and that is pretty much basically completely different than mine, but it is just so entertaining to watch, and to watch them put journals together and stuff. But yeah, I did see that this week, and I think that is just so awesome for those two ladies. That's just worked out really good for them. And I wish them all the luck in their adventures with that. I did email them and wish them well and tell them congratulations and all of that. So, yeah, alrighty, I like that. That turned out good. Okay. So that's good news. I caught the tail end of Seven Plaza and Crafting with Tony's live today. I've got to, when I get off of here, I got to re-watch the playback of that, because they're doing some type of collaboration, and like I said, I caught the tail end of it that they were even on today. So I'm gonna have to re-watch that to see what that's about. But I do wish them well. I watch Crafting with Tony quite a bit. I also watch Miss Margaret at Seven Plaza quite a bit. She's quite entertaining. I like both of those ladies. And pretty much basically about the only one I was watching was Gail doing Gail Augustinelli. I was watching her, and that was kind of about it this week. Watching her do the oh, we need to move you over, buddy. Watching her do the Alice journal. And I have been catching up on Amy at Crafty Cat USA. I have been watching her do her paper bag journal. I was watching that some this week when I got out of work. She does really good work as well. She's a nice lady. And I think Miss Betty's really good friends with her as well. And I first heard about Amy Crafty Cat through Gail Augustinelli with the doing the book thing. You know, where you sew your signature in it. Alrighty, we'll make us some little tags with these. That's going to be a journal card. But yep, that's been the happenings for me this past couple of weeks. Just been trying to, you know, some nights I come in, I didn't even turn the TV on, and I just come in and ate and mindlessly flip through Facebook, honestly. And went to bed and got up and went back to work. Just trying to rest as much as I could while I was not feeling well. Trying not to talk a whole bunch, because, you know, the more you talk, the more your voice stays hoarse. But I am happy to be through the bad coughing spells. That was just ridiculous. So hopefully I won't, you know, that'll be my stint of allergies until it starts turning fall when ragweed comes out, you know. Then we'll have the allergies to that. That really gets me pretty good. I usually wind up getting pneumonia about September or October just because of ragweed. And I've been trying to get it to where it's cut down throughout the sides of our yard and our weed area. And so there's 2 or 3 spots that were still active last year, and Daddy ran them over. He ran up into the weeds with a lawnmower because I was afraid to tear it up. So he's like, well, shoot, if you tear it up, you can fix it. And I was like, okay. So he come over, takes the lawnmower, just runs up and out in the woods, you know, trying to get the ragweed down, because me and Autumn are just, we can't breathe, you know. Me and my daughter sitting over here, we just can't breathe to save our life, and he's out there knocking the ragweed down with the lawnmower. And then sometime or another, I've got to get out here and get this flower bed beside the house where it's got a couple of mini rose bushes in it. I've got 2 mini rose bushes in it, and I've got 4 mini hydrangeas in it, and I've got to get that bed cleaned out before it gets too bad. And then the other garden beds, I just need to get them cleaned up and tore apart. Well, actually, they've basically about fallen apart. And I really don't think I'm going to do anything gardening much, other than maybe putting a few herbs in my grow towers. Other than that, that's about it this year. I'm not planning on doing a whole bunch of gardening work again this year. And mainly, like I said, you know, due to just overexertion in the heat. I can't take it anymore. Alrighty, so those turned out quite pretty. Thank you, Miss Natalie. That was a good little bit of business there. Just that one little sheet of Fussy Cuts. So we got Santa Claus here. And we got a Santa Claus tag. I know I'm right in your face, ain't I? And then we got the ladies. It looks like they're he's reading the list, and the ladies are on the back of the sleigh or something. And then we got the little kids dreaming about Christmas. That's cute. Then we got the Santa Claus on the sleigh. And then this looks to be like a bunch of little kids at Christmas dinner on Christmas morning with Father Christmas there. And then we got Mr. and Miss Claus with a Merry Christmas tag. So that's going to be my video for today. And cause I'll have to fussy cut another sheet of paper. I'll have to fussy cut some more stuff if I stay on here much longer. So that's what we're going to do a video today with. And I'm going to get off here and say thank you all. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much. And happy Merry Makes.